Well, if you got your Thanksgiving fillings in, turkey, stuffing, whatever fillings you got ready, it's now time to burn it off and get ready because it's second semester for two of these teams vying for a spot at AAU Nationals. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Boca Ice Center here in beautiful Boca Raton, Florida. I'm Devin Serra with you as Florida Atlantic University getting ready to take on Florida State in this College Hockey South bout, the game of the week. Noted on all social media platforms, these two teams are very close in their quest for nationals. FAU has not lost a game in College Hockey South this season, led by their three-headed monster, Christian Cuccia, Aiden Georgiano, and Matthew McMillan. These guys have been terrific, some of the league leaders in AAU and College Hockey South. And Florida State trying to battle their way. They're 7-2-2, fifth in College Hockey South. And the winner of this one is going to move up some ever-important spots in that quest for Jacksonville in a couple of months' time. Getting ready at ice side, we've got our starting lineups getting ready to come at you here. And the playing of our national anthem as we get ready to turn things rinkside. Our public address announcer will have that for you. Starting netminders for both teams. First, the visiting Florida State Seminoles. They're turning to their savvy senior in Matthew Silliman. 9 games this year, a 5-2-2 record, 3.56 goals against average, a .904 save percentage, top 10 in AAU Division III. For the home Florida Atlantic Owls, they turn to Matthew McMillan, second in College Hockey South in wins this season, undefeated. Second in save percentage in the league, .922 and a 2.51. This one may just come down to the netminders and who gets this tilt between a first-time matchup, FAU's brand new Division III squad this season versus a long-time program since '98, Florida State and FAU. It's College Hockey South's game of the week, and we are ready for puck drop. Bremer gonna dig in at center. Against Daniel. Out of Nick Andonovsky out of Toronto, Ontario, Canada. That's center. We are underway for the second semester of play and the beginning of the push for AAU Nationals. Stitt gets the first touch, forwarded for his captain there, Ryan Chambry of Fort Myers, Florida, one of the 7 seniors on this Florida State squad. You'll hear his name a lot. They started 3 defensemen on this line. First shot of the game from McMillan, up in the air, and first time saved. Check that. He got through the man on the streaking left side in Chambray. So first shot, Florida State had a good one. Kind of knuckleballed him on the glove and keeps play alive. Florida Atlantic trying to reset out of their own end as they'll go for their first line changes. First man touching it, Aiden Georgiano, a team leading 9 goals this season and 32 points. That's number 1 in College Hockey South. Heads this top line with Georgiano, Christian Cuccia, and a host of others that are going to make for a tough bout. It's their goal-scoring line, but Florida State has the puck. Stitt wants to reset play behind his own net out of Tamarack, Florida. The sophomore had it mishandled and turned over. Lentz goes in to dig it. Hard tumble on this near corner. As the Seminoles lose handle of it. Still in the attack. A shot from the point. Nearly caught through as it went off the shaft of the stick of Silliman and stops play. That one coming at the blue line from Herman. First minute out of this one, Florida Atlantic and Florida State, 2 College Hockey South teams close in contention. Florida Atlantic is the number 2 team in College Hockey South behind Tennessee. They're ranked number 8 nationally against a Florida State group that's looking to get back to national. It's been quite some time. A lot of alumni of Florida State can attest to the trials and tribulations. This program has a full lineup, 25th ranked nationally, and this will do wonders for them to take down a top 10 team in the country in Florida Atlantic. Near saucer shot from the far side, gloved by Silliman. As that came off the blade, it looks like, of Tyler Richards. So we'll get a stoppage to the left circle. Florida Atlantic trying to put pressure on. This team can get up in a hurry. They have won by a plus 30 goal differential this season. A couple of blowouts early. That one nearly gets through. Silliman has to fall down. He had a man right under his pad, and Blake Kakish trying to punch it home. Couldn't get through, however. Up the far half wall. A scram for it. First man to it. Touches Lentz. Couldn't stay onside as they'll call it offside. Carozzo made a nice move as he caught 3 Florida State defenders on that far side. Could have set up another forecheck attempt, but this will come out to center ice. They'll put it on the far circle, closest to Florida State's end. They're shuffling a lot of lines already, Florida State is. They've got James McGovern in there to take the draw for them. Senior out of Naples, Florida. We'll mention the seniors a lot, as many of these guys have found ways to put their program in prominence. We mentioned being the game of the week. A lot at stake for both teams as we start. First game in nearly 2 months for both sides. Here comes the rush, FAU trying to put one on net. That went off the backside of the defender in front of that pass. Farchek kept it, good play at the wall. Hit by Johnny Russenberger. Trying to stop that puck in its tracks. There'll be a tie-up for just a moment as they try and get this one free. Center ice, evading the check. McGovern wants to push it deeper. Back to defend. It's FAU in that far corner. They'll spring it along. Right over center with speed up the right side. Cutting inside. Petito trying to get 1-on-3. He'll run into the netminder and push him out as Silliman. Some little conversation behind there. No worse for wear. FAU that just allowed them to get line changes. Now they'll drop through, trying to lay the lumber, stepping up into that hit. It's McGovern losing an edge behind his own net. Sitting on the puck is Cooper Barno. He doesn't know where it is. Trying to fish it out from underneath him. Now it finally comes free to this near half wall. Matt Jeck, shot from the point, off the stick of Barno. Shot on net. Silliman turned it wide in the butterfly. And we've got a whistle as the net has come off its moorings on the right side of it. Pushed ahead, and that's a tough shot for Silliman to save, mainly because he has to get down in a hurry on a shot that could potentially have been redirected well. Florida Atlantic, some more changes, 16:46 to go. We're live with you from Boca Ice Center, Boca Raton, Florida. Some AAU Division III hockey. Florida Atlantic fans been waiting nearly 2 months, but they've seen a dandy season so far. The inaugural year took down Florida Tech in a heap of dominant performances. 15 goals in the first game to just Florida Tech's 2, and a 10-5 resounding victory on the road. Here's a nice nifty move to the net. Georgiano tried to roof it over the top of Silliman, and he missed the net. Off the back of the glass, Stitt will lead the breakout. Matt Jeck lost handle. Couple of turnovers up for grabs in the middle of the ice. First one at it, Russenberger, and he'll just push it farther to the zone. Allows FAU to stretch this ahead, nearly connected, but they'll stay onside as Georgiano got ahead of the defense. Barno pushes him in. He gets help now coming off the bench area. Christian Cuccia, one of those leading scorers in CHS. Tried to toe drag Dangle around 2 defenders, had it knocked away. Push to the right corner. Chambre gets a look, 3-on-2. The Seminoles have a rush the other way, trying to saucer it through the middle. Was Andrew Bremer, missed his man too far in the air. And FAU gets their numbers back. The shift in momentum, pushing along. Both teams have had their first look at this game. Seminoles nearly scored within the first 30 seconds of this game from their captain, Chamber, on the left side. And a good glove save by McMillan. He hasn't seen action yet in the last 5 minutes. FAU trying to answer now. Through the middle. Shot from the slot, saved and gloved by Silliman for a stoppage. That one came from Sam Watson of Delaware, Ohio. As we look at our coaches for this game, for the visitors, Seminoles, Ryan Smith leading this Seminole group to a 7-2-2 record. A large group of staff with Jacob Felch, Andrew Dervey, and McAllister Stumbaugh. Done a great job getting this program in. So you mentioned early in this broadcast, a couple of great wins this year. They have taken down some impressive bouts against the likes of Florida in a sweep. Georgia Tech, they went at the start of the year. After kind of an odd schedule, they went 1-1-1, win-loss and a tie to open the year. They played more games in the first semester. They don't have too many left. FAU, Embry-Riddle, St. Leo and USF before their push for the conference tournament. There's a chance in front. Carozzo from Watson, and he tipped it wide of the net. I think Silliman might have got a piece. Oh, man, a chance from FAU from the right side in. What a pass that was from Watson to get in front of the goal crease to make that one tough on Silliman. Still scoreless, however. 14:53 to go. Devin Serra with you. So look at FAU's side. Andrew Yagoda, first season for this group, with Kevin Hoy, the general manager, Scott Grosky, and team president Leon Biller. Petito, the right circle, is going to dig in. Up against Jay Van Ray. A shot from the point quick, right off the draw. Silliman, another nice stop as Nicholas Pecora got in there. And now back with it, Petito, looking to get this to a tough angle. Gorachek defended well by Katz. Up this right side. A man coming straight off the bench. Inside, it gets a 3-on-2. The Seminoles the other way. A shot from one knee. Gets through, and a good save. McMillan's going to stop play. And losing the stick on this right side was the defender in front. Scott Herman nearly let this puck get a clean shot from the right side. It forced the pass to the middle as it bounced off his knee. And still, McMillan had to do a good job getting down to the butterfly and scooping that one up. Nonetheless, Florida State, after all of those chances from the Owls early in this one, what it creates that back and forth, and it's a deep roster for FAU defensively. They've got some good options with Connor Strum, Scott Herman, as we mentioned, one of those two seniors for this FAU group, and they're aggressive, so they need some good help back there when they're all alone. Here comes the aggressive forecheck back to work. Gorelick got turned it over. A streaking pass ahead from Alexander Jensen. Too far away, however, and they call the icing. And FAU's bench is not going to like that, as nearly winning that race was Jay Van Ray. But it will come outside. And I think they're going to put this one at center because of that. Yep, they called the inadherent icing because the Florida State defender got there first. Jay Van Ray. So they're going to put this one at center, correct that icing with 14:09 left in the first. And McGovern will dig in for it. Andrew Rothamich. And now they're going to put this back in Florida State's end after they elected to put it at center. So they're going to say that FAU won that race to the puck, even though they looked like they were going to correct the call. So this is going to put Rothamich in this FAU group in a good advantage here. They keep it inside off the face-off win. Rothamich went through his legs. Stitt, first man to defend it. Caught up to on the near side. I'll put this one where it's caught up. Tyler Richards tries to find a lane. Pushed it back. Just rimmed around the boards by Brady Walsh. Gets to a man in Lopes, and he couldn't handle it, so they're going to once again go out of their own blue line. Up the far board. McGovern defending it through. And Lopes trying to catch up to it. FAU has not missed an assignment so far. There's a turnover. Moria shot off the top of the crossbar and into the netting. And they're going to say this one stays in play even though it went up into the netting. Both sides are confused, and we've got a penalty, a slashing call coming up on FAU, and they are livid. They say this puck went up into the netting after the shot off the crossbar from Rothamich. Boy, talk about a turn of events. You nearly have the first goal of this game, and now you're taking a penalty. So it's a slashing call. And I think it's their captain, Anthony Campagna. They're going to put Campagna in the box for slashing. So Florida State gets a power play, the benefactory, off a surprising turn. The official in the far corner told these teams after everybody on the ice expected play to stop, and I might even have heard a whistle go off the side of the netting, but they kept it in play. So a weird string of events, and it's Florida State's first power play on the Campagna slash. At the point, Stitt trying to rework traffic. FAU clogs the middle. They put it to their captain. Chambray trying to go back up to the point, patient with it now. Cooper Barno back to the middle, shot on net, squared up, and caught in the face by a stick was Matthew McMillan. No worse for wear as he made the save in the butterfly. We talked about McMillan's stats. Second in College Hockey South in wins and save percentage with a minimum of 3 games. 5-0 on the year out of White House Station, New Jersey. Only a freshman, and you see kind of the size. A guy like this had a lot of success early in his career. Played for the Hunterton Bears in the AA, and some really astonishing stats. 2.65 goals against average, .930 is astonishing numbers. Easily could have played more AAA and probably some more minor league hockey. Elected to come to FAU this season for the inaugural bid at Division III. FAU, after a nice dump out by the Owls, is going to get back to work. It's Alexander Jensen. Up to the point for Stitt one more time. Going to redirect to the left way. Chambray. Good movement here for Barno. Wants to put a good one on net. Blocked off the backside. Got in front of that, Christian Cuccia. Now Barno once more gives it D to D. A shot from the high slot. Another block by Cuccia. That's 2 in the last 15 seconds. Off the rear end. 50 seconds to go in FSU's first power play of the night. Through the legs, Barno trying to catch up. They've got a lane if they want it through the middle. The bumper shot off the left crossbar, but they say it's in. Score! Jay Van Ray gets it started after a puck almost squirted out from the left post. It's a power play goal, and the Seminoles are off and running. That time of the goal, 7 minutes, 56 seconds. And it's a power play goal from Jay Van Ray. And we mentioned how controversial that non-stoppage of play was after FAU's Andrew Rothamich put it off the top of the crossbar, went into the netting, but they kept play going, and it led to a slashing penalty from Anthony Campagne. So it's 1-0 Florida State. And with the sort of turn of tides, as successful as FAU's been, you kind of think Florida State needed to start like that against this team. They nearly put one back. Campagne trying to make up for the slash. Put it in front for Drew Renzi and nearly got it through. A nice stop by Silliman. So FAU keeps the forecheck going. They funnel it deeper to the zone. Renzi puts one through the middle of the ice, and just too far away. Not ready was Aiden Georgiano. So it comes back out. Allows Florida State to get a fresh man on. The stretch pass doesn't connect, and it will be an icing out of their own zone. So you get some fireworks here in the last 3 minutes or so, and Campagne answered back. And the captain of this FAU team, a junior out of Setauket, New York. A couple of games of Division II in his career, the last 2 seasons. And, of course, with that program that went all the way to the national final against Florida. Had some playoff experience. Talked to his coaches at FAU and Andrew Yagoda, and elected to come to a young, upstart Division III school and provide some guidance there. And we'll talk about him more in a moment. But FSU is looking to keep the pressure on here. They've had a good start to this game in the first 9.5 minutes on the power play from Jay Van Ray. And for Jay Van Ray, that's his second of the year in 7 games. And we've got a hand pass nearly called. They let this one go. They elected to get the high stick out. There's an injured FAU player going off to the bench on the near wing. That's Anthony Campagna holding his right arm. Now FAU steps into a shot, and that one's sticked aside by McMillan. The Owls trying to get through. Renzi with his new line mate drops it off. Renzi, miscommunication. If FSU hurries, they've got numbers coming back the other way. McGovern up the right side, 2 men on 1. Sticks away from some defenders, now gets sandwiched in the middle, and he'll sky this puck out of play inadvertently. So with halfway gone in this first period, the Owls having to stick off some Florida State chances where guys like Ryan Chambray, their captain, Jay Van Ray with his second of the season, we talked about a minute ago, coming out hot, and Ryan Smith talked with the emphasis, trying to get going. They know what kind of skill FAU presents with this young squad in and out of the glove of McMillan, so that will stop play again. But you get a group here that's had a number of years played together, and on this team, the likes of Ethan Katz and Brady Walsh, who's a Florida Gulf Coast transfer from the Division III ACHA team 2 years ago. And all of a sudden, you've got yourself a team that's pretty experienced. So the Seminoles keep the pressure on. Good play at the line by Alexander Jensen. Trying to get around the defense. Pocket pick for a moment, or Wood will just push it deeper. They'll continue the cycle now. Trying to look for a lane in front. FAU clogs the middle. A lot of room up top. Wood to the right wing. Katz one more time off the boards. Catching up to it was Jay Van Ray, the only goal scorer so far. Defended well. Campagna back in the game. But again, they haven't got a shot off yet. They've had a minute of zone time, and this one trying to rim around the boards was Ethan Katz out of play. And you notice that a sort of a smaller, low tapered glass here at Boca Ice Center. You can easily see how the netting extends from about the middle of the right circle, extends around to the other wing, and you've got all this open ice from about half the slot area up to the blue line. It can create a lot of stoppages of play, and pucks were trying to rim it on the glass and keep a play going. As they turn around shot, nearly hit the net, never got on McMillan. Intercepting that was Daniel Bogdanov, the team leader in goals. McMillan has to come out to play it. Get a one-on-one on this near wing. Good stick out of the blue line. Catching up to it is Christian Cuccia. That's sent back in the red line. FAU has not had a scoring chance in the last 3.5 minutes now. Seminoles, Cooper Barno keeps the pressure on. Deck to the boards. Joseph Lozeritis. Now they'll clap it out of here. It's a tired FAU group. They won't get to the bench before the icing, so they have to stay on. So this group that's already had a minute and a half of zone time in their own end is gassed. Sam Watson's still out there. Get pushing back to the left circle. They'll put it at is Andrew Rothmich, who's really been a presence specifically in front of his goaltender McMillan. So Florida State with a chance here with the fresh bodies. Take advantage of a tired group. Crucial faceoff. Charlie Lackus to dig in for the Seminoles. Up to the point, it's one. Cycled one more, nearly in and out of the glove of McMillan as he had to reach the left glove. And it's off the glass side. Still keeping the pressure on FAU, trying to get bodies there. And they'll bang it off the glass, but it will go all the way down. Will they call it icing? No, they wave it off. So FAU gets a break. They finally get fresh bodies and get out of that scare. But they're not done yet. FSU, that is. FAU trying to get through, and they are offside. Just a tad bit too fast. It's Peter Petito. The first game of two this weekend in Division III for Florida Atlantic, as tomorrow's puck drop from Boca Ice is set for a 5 p.m. Eastern time slate. You can catch us on Owl TV for that broadcast. They've got a tough second semester schedule coming up, but most of these games will be at home from Boca, so you'll be able to catch them live when you can. Played a lot of away games against the likes of Embry-Riddle, Tampa D2, and a really strong first semester outing, especially against Tampa Division II. And I had the chance to talk to Andrew Yagoda about that game. The big thing he mentioned was their ability to keep up with what is a top Division II team when their Division II FAU team also gave it to Tampa, of course, winning the Sunshine Tournament down there, and FSU trying to get back on the attack. We'll get more in a moment, but right now they're rimming the far boards, and FAU again just allowing them kind of to move on the outside. FSU not able to get to the middle just yet. Good play at the line. Daniel Bogdanov had it turned over. Nearly FAU would have had a 3-on-1 going the other way. Now they've got a 2-on-1. Pecora to the net. Missed on the right corner. FAU looking to nod this game up. 7 minutes to go in the first period. Nice play at the line. Gorelick pushing it deeper. Out of his own end, McGovern, the captain, rather alternate captain, senior, is going to play this out to center. It's turned over here. On the left side, a lone man goes hard to the net. Trying to put it in the middle. Georgiano off the bench. It's Connor Moriarty just doing some work defensively, trying to save some time. FAU hasn't really generated a lot of odd man rushes. Can only count really one in this game to FSU's 3. Here's Zucker. If they hurry, they've got a good look. Javen right to the middle, and it's too far away from him. Never got a shot on. Boy, Jay Van Ray can fly. I think he expected that puck to be a little bit closer behind him. But nonetheless, FAU gets out of harm's way again, and now they've got numbers, a 3-on-2. Georgiano drops it off to the middle, shot. Blockered away. Left pad save by Silliman. So Kuchia, there you go. Odd man rush. Still 1-0 Seminoles. They've got fresh bodies now on the ice as their captain Chambray will chase this. In the middle, saved away by McMillan. Sticked out of the air. Scott Herman trying to keep the play alive. Ethan Katz catches it, misplayed at the blue line. Have to dump it away as it would have been offside if a Seminole touched it. Trying to close off the angle was Bogdanov. Nearly had it successful. Georgiano comes in, and offside on the left side is Christian Kuchia. So we talked a minute ago about FAU's schedule. Their inaugural year still undefeated in College Hockey South, and there's not many inaugural programs that can say that. Of course, FAU is a program. Division II has been around since the ACHA days, dating back to the early 2000s. Division III, their captain Anthony Capagni told me they had over 70 skaters show up to their tryouts last year and almost 50 plus this year. Allowed them to say, why don't we start a Division III team since we got so many guys? And you get all these young players, freshmen and sophomores mainly, that make up this lineup. Age-wise doesn't matter, though, because they have been red hot, winning by a large margin. We mentioned their goal differential being plus 30. And looking for another to the middle of the ice, trying to fish it free, and Bremer, first man to it, as Georgiano gets around the body, and we've got a penalty coming up here on FAU, and it's going to be for holding, interference. So just as I mentioned how well FAU was doing through the middle of the ice and defensively, it's Aiden Georgiano who's going to go to the box for interference. FSU is 1 for 1 on the power play in this game. And that doesn't bode well for a group that really has done okay as far as their power play numbers go. They've got around, I think, 12 power play goals in the year, FAU does. Florida State hovers around the middle. But just the way this game is opened up, with Jay Van Ray having the only goal, FAU's got to really dig in. 4:32 to go in this first period. There hasn't been many times when they've been down. Last time we can count was, the Tampa Division II, and before that, USF. And that USF game, Game 2, at the beginning of the year, the Owls were down 2-0. Ended up coming back, winning it 4-2. Here's Florida State. Up to the point now. And with it, one-timer blast! McMillan never got to him, but Eddie Zucker was trying to look for the redirection on that left side. The right side, rather. Now Stitt misplayed his head at the blue line, but a nice play off his backhand by McGovern to keep the play alive. Eddie Zucker deeper, trying to put it in the middle. Losing the stick for a moment was the forward. And now it's all the way back to Silliman. So Florida State with 1:14 to go. This was around the time on that last power play they got the rush going. They've got a fresh man off the bench. Coming with Alexander Jensen up that right side. The man with it, Daniel Bogdanov. Bogdanov puts it deeper. Jensen looks for his options. Thinks about the middle, looks. He'll take it now to the bumper spot. Backhand! McMillan almost got a skate, but it missed the right corner of the net, the right post. And FAU gets a chance to break out, and a diving play football style was Carozzo. And he'll go off to the bench now, but that's a good job by FAU to get out of harm's way for now. 35 seconds to go in FSU's second power play. Chambray couldn't handle the one-touch feed. Nearly turned it over. Now the Seminoles get it back. Bogdanov skates up the left side. Has to fight off the defensive front. Behind the net, Nicholas Pecora waiting with it at that slot area. Now at the point is Barno. Puts it to the left side. You see them trying to get FAU's defense to move. 6 seconds to go until they're out of the box from Georgiano. A one-timer off the left side. That one hit stanchion glass. I think the netting again, but they're going to keep play alive. It'll allow a breakout and a nice defensive play by Cooper Barno. Nearly could have been a stretch pass breakaway, and Barno at center ice stretches the stick. 2:15 in the first period. And FAU with numbers comes back. Georgiano still on the ice. Through the middle, a shot on net, saved by Silliman. Alternate captain Cuccia had a good look, couldn't get it through. Now it's turned over. FSU, one man loses a skate in Russenberger. Deep in with it is Charlie Lackus. He'll take a check off the boards. And we've got another penalty coming up. And they're getting FAU with this one, I believe. No, I stand corrected. It's FSU's Blake Kakish going to the box. Didn't get a glimmer of the call just yet. And they're talking about it just for a moment here still. So maybe trying to rearrange some things. We'll get clarification in a moment on that penalty, but regardless, it means FAU is going to go to the man advantage for the first time tonight after they've just fended off that recent penalty from Georgiano. Before that, Campagna, the only goal scorer, Jay Van Ray for the Seminoles, just joining us from Boca Ice Center, Boca Raton, Florida. The Seminoles all the way from Tallahassee. It's a long commute with a 1-0 lead. Even though they're on this one, they're going to get, actually they're going to put this 4-on-4. I thought for a moment it was power play, excuse me. So they put both guys in the box. And the call now I'm getting is roughing. So a roughing call on both coincidental minors means both. There's a chance for FSU in the slot area. Knuckleball McMillan, and FAU wants to get a break to the way. We'll tell you about the penalty more. Here comes Georgiano, tries the dangle. Campagna is there ready. Their captain gets it back out the right circle. Cross-ice feed up to the point now. 4-on-4 look, and it's into the netting. And stop play. That was Connor Moriarty. But you get the roughing regardless on Blake Kakish and Christian Cuccia. So that causes the 4-on-4 play for roughing. But with this last, there's going to be only 8 seconds left. But it will end the period 4-on-4 if this stays, with 1:09 to go on the clock and 1:17 to go in the minor in coincidentals. So it's Petito to dig in. Kind of a 50-50 draw. Getting to his feet first, Georgiano through the middle, underneath the legs of Declan Stitt. Puts it out to center. That's a underrated play after FAU had a good look in the middle. Now a slot chance, missed the right post. And winding up was Jake Buccigross. Still on it, 45 to go in the period. Buccigross waits for his options. He'll spin this to Petito. Wraps the offensive zone. Puts deeper off the backside to the middle for Buccigross. And off of Bogdanov through the middle. He's got a 2-on-1 developing if he hurries with Jay Van Ray. He'll just put this to a near angle. More dangerous than it looked. Bogdanov had to get around McMillan, who got his stick paddle in there to put that puck to the corner. Petito with a shot. Barno blocked it away. Another stop by the Seminoles defensively to get through. Just trying to get out of harm's way, but they've got options if they want it. Stitt, freshman off the bench for FAU. Here's a chance in the middle. Nearly catches McMillan on a bad angle, but that's going to do it for the period. So Florida State, a flurry of chances at the end of this period. They see the first goal of this game from Jay Van Ray on the power play at 7:56. And boy, first time in a long time, the Owls have felt the pressure, down 1-0 as we hit the intermission report. Stay with us. We'll have that for you just in a moment as we return to Boca Raton. You're watching the College Hockey South Game of the Week, Florida Atlantic and Florida State, live on Owl TV. We're back here. Back with you for the start of second period. FAU has tied it up from Anthony Campagna, his fifth of the year, and FSU answers. They score. Daniel Bogdanov on a quick rush to the middle of the ice. Gets his first of this one. The team leader in goals, 8th of the season. What an answer. FSU was trying to fight off that attack, and both teams had an agenda coming out of the first period. And that just completely turned things around. Bogdanov on a great alone chance, just put it by the left side of McMillan. After FSU scored in the first 4 seconds. The time of that goal, 1 minute and 21 seconds. So 2-1, FSU has answered off Daniel Bogdanov. It's 2-1, and FSU, both teams with an agenda scoring. And another near chance earlier for FAU 30 seconds ago. So they're back on this rush. Down the other way, it's going to go for icing against FAU after Christian Cuccia sent the length of the ice. And I mean, you talk about somebody that's a tone setter. You know, when I talked to Anthony Campagna about needing a good start, he mentioned to me, look, we haven't played in 2 months' time, and it's going to be tough for us to really come out of this break and realistically set ourselves the expectation of playing our best in the first period. So for them to come out and answer like that makes a world of a difference. So because of that, the owl was on the board from him. And the junior captain, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, has that experience from Division II, playing at AAU Nationals. But now this ice has really opened up. McGovern and FSU trying to answer again, point blank on McMillan, and he'll get the early whistle with help coming from his defenseman, Nathan Katz. So they'll reset things, allow FAU to change. They're going to keep Kuchia on the ice with their captain and Campagna. Jay Van Ray to dig in, who I said earlier he was scoring his second of the year, but this man right here off the left post, Chambray got his 6th of the season on the power play caused by the slashing penalty on Campagna. So Campagna has been affected on 2 of the 3 goals so far tonight. And Barno under the leg of Chambray. A rush the other way. And Campagna, just as we said it, wants a call, and they're going to give him this one. They're going to go captain against captain, and they're going to call a tripping on Ryan Chambray. Thought for a moment that Campagna just lost his edge trying to get up ice over the right circle, but so 2 minutes on the board against Campagna, and there's 1:35 to go. That we didn't mention to you a minute ago. Apologies for that. And Aiden Georgiano. So for now, we've got 4-on-4 for the next minute and 27. Give FAU about 26 seconds of power play time. So out of his own end, Brady Walsh trying to make the most of this open ice now. You got to wonder, FSU, on paper, FAU's got the speedier forwards, but this Florida State team has really come to play, as you saw with that rush chance earlier from Ryan Chambray. A drop pass for Petito, trying to put this one in front, missed the net wide. Up to the point now. Calling for on the left side, a shot over the net. Never got through. As Campagna came to the middle of the ice, trying to put one left side on Silliman, and he got the right pad down to stop it. The Seminoles the other way on the rush chance. Out of the net was McMillan. Attempting the turnaround. And the helmet comes off of McMillan. That's going to give an easy whistle. He's got to get that relatched. Trying to see who had the wraparound try there. The only person in front was Daniel Bogdanov, who has the second goal of this game. With 15:36 in the second. We had 2 goals from each apiece within the first minute and a half. Anthony Campagna tied it up, and a minute later, Bogdanov. So here's his own play. 22 seconds to go in the 4-on-4. Zucker put it in front, off the back of Watson, and the second try wouldn't go through. Missed the left post. And now Renzi has to find a little open ice. He's got help with Bucci-Gross. Drops it off for Watson, who got in front of that first shot for the Seminoles. Now Nicholas Pecora skates wide. 22 seconds of power play time. Trying to make the most of it. Bucci-Gross. The right wing. Back to him. He's got a lane to shoot if he wants it. I think that one caught iron. Left post. It's squeaked out left of the blocker side. and came out to the slot. Half wall chance. Georgiano looks for it. Takes one on point blank. In and out of the chest protector, and Silliman will swallow. That's going to do it for the time. So 14:40 to go in the second. We'll put this back to 5-on-5. Right circle chance. That will put FAU 0 for 1 on their power play, as that 4-on-4 at the end of the first period does not matter for their marks. FSU 1 for 3 on the night, and they're going to give the icing to the Owls. Matt Jick is confused as heck about it, as he's calling that a 50-50, and when you've got a race like that, they can wave it off. It's Matt Jick hustle back. Nonetheless, we'll come back to Florida State's right circle. Herman holds his ground for a moment, and another whistle coming up. Let's see the call. Official in the left corner had the hand raised. Haven't seen a marking yet. They're actually going to put this on FAU, but what's the inconvenience? Okay. So no official marking of the penalty from either official, but it's nonetheless a power play for the Seminoles. At the point, slid up the left side. Bogdanov put one on net through a flurry of bodies. McMillan caught it through. Chambray with the leading goal in this second period. Slides it around the boards to the half wall, through the middle, shot on net to McMillan. Another nice stop in the butterfly. Up to the point now. Petito there to defend. Chambray looking for a lane to go with it. He'll drop it off. Bogdanov's got a lane if he wants it. Score! Bogdanov, his second of the period. 3-1 Florida State. Through two bodies, screening the netminder, Matthew McMillan. A wicked wrister. Goes bar Cuba. Bar down through the top of the net. And Bogdanov, his team leading 9th goal of the season. The product of Palm Harbor, Florida. And a product of the AAA program in Michigan, the Oakland Junior Golden Grizzlies. And get this one, folks. 186 games with that Oakland Grizzlies AAA program. 33 goals, 41 assists. Staggering numbers, and making a lot of Grizzly alumni and FSU alumni alike proud, as him and a FSU group that's come out flying has a 3-1 advantage over the number 2 team in College Hockey South. So let's see what FAU does with this adversity. 3-1. The assist goes to the captain and Ryan Chambray. So you get the leadership group with all 3 goals so far for FSU. Chambray had the opening one. And the most recent, Bogdanov. FAU's got to hurry back for this puck. Watson gets it out of harm's way over to Herman. Wants to keep this one on side as tipped on the red line. They will. Through the middle, there's an open lane. It's coming out of the net with Silliman for just a moment. Watson, first man to it. Puts one on a sharp angle. Chopped down. Now taken out by Richards of Florida State. Georgiano tried to play it off the boards and had a man defending him through the middle. Trying to get numbers in the way with Cuccia. Giordano The Owls look a little bit out of sync right now, especially in the center ice. And Florida State, whenever they've got an odd man rush, has just kept bringing numbers all the time. So Kuchia drops it off to nobody in particular. Richards is there, trying to get around the head defender and Ethan Katz. Some back and forth through the middle of the ice. The drop off and trying to find it under his legs was Kakish. The tall man puts this one near side on the net. And Silliman had to drop out. It didn't even look like Kakish got a shot off, but he went to the net on the left side. And that will cause some line changes. 12:45 to go in the second period. The only goal scorer that we can find for FAU right now is Anthony Campagna, their captain. That was his 5th of the year. But in that conversation we had yesterday, he talked a lot about a young Division III team, their first year. Haven't seen too much adversity besides the first series they had against USF in a situation like this, down 2 early. And he told me in that game they learned a lot about themselves with an identity. One, that they could overcome a challenge like that, but also the amount of skill and talent they really did have. And since that, you've looked at FAU's schedule. Wins against Miami. Tampa Division II is here's a chance from the left side. Out of the net, Silliman in and out of his pocket. A one-time clapper fanned on by Buccigross. That'll allow the stretch play for FSU. McMillan's got to come way out of the net to keep this from harm's way. We get a whistle. For what, I'm not sure. There might be a call coming up here on the Owls. There's a head official and 2 linesmen for our officiating crew tonight. 2 officials and a linesman, excuse me. And the official closest to this right corner at our stanchion, close to center, made this call. He might be looking at too many men here because they're pointing to the FAU bench. And when FAU was coming off on that stretch clear, they had men coming off, men coming on, and the FAU player touched it out of his own end. So they're trying to direct this. I think we're looking at too many men here on FAU. We'll wait for the call, though. The Owls, number 2 in College Hockey South, our game of the week, right here on Owl TV. And 2 teams that, if FSU is making a hurry, still a lot of time to go in this game, but if they are going to control the pace of this, and with an advantage like this, you got to wonder how much FAU, with the way they've been playing, can really put momentum on quick. If FSU wins this, they're ranked 25th around there in the country. This would be massive for their nationals implications, as this is arguably one of the biggest games of their season, both sides really. And a big call coming up here. They're for now saying 5-on-5, but a little bit of an inadvertent whistle. I don't think you could have called icing on the Owls if that was really the case, because they had the first man there was Georgiano. Nonetheless, they're going to clean this up. Long conversation, and now head coach Florida State Ryan Smith wants answers, but puck is dropped. We'll continue play anyway. Lentz wins it back, and that's a good win for the Owls. Petito on the rush, trying to get some mustard back. Can they get within 1? They put it in front. Silliman's down. His own defender crashed into him. Turnaround shot, well wide. Petito, if he could have found a man in the middle, might have had a wide open net to shoot at. FSU survives that scare. Buccigross skates alone with it. He's got a man behind him. He'll take it alone. Saved by Silliman off the blocker. Up the right point. Ethan Katz gives him a little help. Seminoles send it down the length so that it will go back to their own end. And that's a tough bid for them because they had to keep that same group out there on that rush chance. And not too much time ticked off the clock, but just all that movement with all 5 men on the ice gets you a lot of fatigue early. And talked about in the opener, these guys haven't played since before Thanksgiving, really. FSU, their last game, coming all the way on November 16th against North Florida. They won 7-3. And for the Owls, their last game was against Florida Tech on that same date. So these guys had Thanksgiving dinner. They had Christmas break. trying to get their legs back. It's been competitive so far. Here's a shot from the point. Funnels through. Oh, my goodness. McMillan wasn't ready. Bremer was in the low slot trying to get it close to the right post, but it missed. They keep this one onside, just barely. FAU's got help coming to the right corner. Rothamich turns around, trying to put it in front for his man, and Silliman swallowed it out. He hugged the right post with a good awareness of what was happening on that play as FAU kept their cycle going around from right to left. And the only goal of this game that was scored in the first 15 seconds of the period from Campagne was on a rush. Dang near. So we'll see if the systematic play can pick up and they can make the most of it. Petito is the man to dig in, wearing those palm tree red, I'll call it navy blue pants. And this jersey, folks, is a beauty. A little bit hard to read the numbers, but it's a beauty. And not to mention that this almost won the Hockey House Jersey of the Year competition last year. Trying to find a pass to the middle was Petito, and first man with catching up, FSU. Russenberger puts one on net. McMillan, that's another one that kind of squirts by him near side. He's a netminder that moves around a lot. We've seen him make some daring blocker saves today, but he's had trouble swallowing the puck at times. Petito back behind, losing the stick, was the forward, and now dumped the length of the ice. So not a lot of cohesion. Both sides are really now kind of staggering right kind of a low point where neither side has really gained that good offensive chance, that back and forth. And, I talked to head coach Andrew Yagoda about this game earlier. He mentioned that taking advantage of turnovers is probably part of the strategy when you think about an FSU team that has been just as aggressive as FAU has and has won as much. And both sides have been pretty sound defensively, and the goaltenders have stepped up, especially McMillan, for making this a worse game after FSU has had a number of odd man rushes. Stepped into a big hit at the blue line. Christian Kuchia steps into the defender, and Begdunov has a near tip in the slot area. Unknown player, number 55 for the Seminoles. So slow things down, trying to get one to McGovern. Turned over. Kuchia to Georgiano through the middle. Georgiano gets around one defender. Petito wasn't ready, and look out. Speed up the right wing. Cuts inside and loses that. Now Campagna will just take this over, stretch it out, and if FAU hurries, they're going to be able to set back up. Onside. Slide across. Kuchia in the middle, trying to set up the bumper, and Campagna. They'll reset it to the left side. Blocked away first time. Second try, missed behind the net. Up to the point, Georgiano sidesteps the defender. Almost out of harm's way. Now the Seminoles are with tired bodies. Trying to chase it is Scott Herman, give them some time. FAU establishing some forecheck here. Georgiano has a lane to take it if he wants it. Off the right blocker of Silliman. Another try from the top of the left slot. Watson from the left wing. And now they're putting pressure on Silliman. Here's Kotze for FAU. Dropped it off. A minute of zone time nearly we're getting now. Skates through some defenders. Stop for a moment, clear the length of the ice. FAU can't change though. And this group is a tired bunch. No, they waved it off. It caught a piece of stanchion as Herman was catching up to it. And they called the icing off. He was well ahead of any FSU player. Keeps it alive. Watson, and that hurts FSU more than it helps. Tries to take this one off the blocker of a defender in front. And now a lane to shoot one more time. Kotze couldn't get a lane through. Watson calling for a change as he's a tired body. He'll get it. Connor Strum will settle the puck down, but they're going to call it offside. A break for FSU. The Seminoles have been feeling the heat. And probably the best look FAU's had of this period since, well, the first 2 minutes when they scored from Campagna. 7:26 to go in the second period. Devin Serra with you ringside. First game of the second semester. We mentioned that big, long break for both sides. The legs are probably feeling it at this point. Both netminders have been busy. Shots were officially 9-6 FSU at the end of that first period. But FAU trying to answer that one. It's up for grabs in the slot. The first man to it is FSU, and they'll turn away. Trying to get a breakout is Bogdanov looking for the hat trick. 2 goals in this period within the first 7 minutes. FAU's reclaim the numbers, and they turn it over. Bogdanov's got a lane again. Will he take it on net and nearly put in by Cambray, the captain, looking for a backdoor tip-in. Probably tap-in. I mean, he had basically just the left pad to beat of McMillan, but he never got the puck on his stick. FSU defends out their own and a good net in front. Up for grabs in the slot, Silliman, and it missed the crease wide. Renzi was the man there and tight. Don't believe they ever even got a shot on him. But keeping the pressure on. Bodies all over that slot area. Now taking up the netting. And FSU will have to stay in their own zone because of that. Silhouette did know which direction this puck was going to go. First time it was slid from left to right. And you had Drew Renzi ready for the shot. He elected to pass it off to Caraballo, who was in tight, and then tried to get it back and put it past the left post, and it never really had the greatest look. So you reset, and now it's really been the last 4 minutes. The Owls controlling play. To dig in the draw, left circle chance. In and out of the glove of Silliman. Bogdanov catches it. Will just lift it forward. Give his team time to change. FAU's captain, Campagna, with the only goal for them in this contest. Moriarty misses the pass behind. Forces back to their own trapezoid. Campagna leaves it this way. Forwarded back. Russenberger caught an edge. Lost his footing. Through the slot, Russenberger steamed it on. Cole Bernoulli. Nobody can claim possession of this puck just yet. Russenberger is the man to circle back out of his own zone. He'll go D-to-D with Kakish. His pass plotted. Trying to clap it forward as Walsh, just giving him change and entering the low state. FSU diving play made, trying to get another look. And now they go 6-on-5. Delayed penalty coming up here on FAU. That's touched by Gorelick, or wearing the number Gorelick. I'm not sure whose player that is. As told before that Gorelick is a scratch tonight. Nonetheless, it's a penalty coming up here on the Owls. And it's Carrazzo. Missed what the infraction was. But it's FSU's 4th power play of this game. They are 1 for 3 so far. The opening goal on a weird sort of play in the first 8 minutes was their captain and Ryan Chambray. And there he is. Chambray leads it on in the middle, slot area, point blank by McMillan. That was Jay Van Ray. Now back up to Chambray, looks for an option. Jay Van Ray thinks about the shot. McMillan, another great stop. He got it back. It's behind him on the goal crease. Oh, my goodness. A help coming from the defender. Sam Watson kept this puck from going in. Right on the goal crease behind. They still keep the pressure on. Bogdanov winds up. Herman's there to put it wide. Chambray keeps the forecheck on. FSU, 3 great looks. Can the 4th go? Up to the point now. Chambray slid Bogdanov. He'll look. Elects to put it left corner, Chambray. with the open boards. The see-through. Herman slid around, couldn't clear it. Bogdanov held the line. Caught up to by Barno. Sort of a soft pass. Van Ray back to Barno. 52 to go in the power play. Bogdanov wanted to get his defender Kuchia to bite. He didn't. Petito's there against Barno. Chambray is ready as the bumper. And he missed Van Ray, and they'll will go way out of the zone. FAU is going to get their penalty kill group, the first one off. The lone defender will be Kuchia against Bogdanov. And now you get another delayed penalty coming up on FAU as the stick was slashed out of hands of a Seminole defender. 3:07 to go. Here's Bogdanov, winds up, got through the 5-hole, off the back of the glass, and now McMillan finds it with the glove. Bogdanov nearly had the hat trick through the 5-hole, but it's another penalty, and this one was pretty obvious. And they've actually got interference on this penalty. I thought it would be for a slash, but that is going to allow 17 seconds of 5-on-3, and FSU really has a chance here to take control of this game. As head coach for FAU, Andrew Yagoda is just trying to get a word and sort of an explanation from these two officials about where it happened. It was center ice. I missed that out of the corner of my eye, but FSU player had his stick knocked out of his hands, and then the FAU forward said, "It's not me," but it was him. 17 seconds to go. 3 minutes left in the period. If you're a Seminole fan right now, you're looking to say, "Well, we can really control the rest of this game now." A 3-1 score, 4-1 makes it a lot tougher. Here we go. 17 left on the 5-on-3. An important faceoff is won by the Seminoles. Up to the point now, this left side. McGovern calling for it. He'll look. Waits on it, takes the shot. McMillan saw it the whole way for an easy save. You've got 3 seconds left until Sam Carrazzo's out of the box. Face off to the right wing, caught up, won by FAU, up but out. McGovern had to circle back, and here's Carrazzo with speed, pickpocketed his man, and now it's a race for the puck. McGovern sees at the other side, big hit, and there's a penalty coming up on the Seminoles. That was cleaning the clock. Eddie Zucker took out Carrazzo and decked him out to the boards, and they're going to get that one, and sort of a bang-bang hit, but they're not letting Zucker go with that one. So that changes the whole dynamic. He raced the board. FSU goes 1 for 5 on their power play as Zucker gets the call. That's going to be for a rough. So roughing called on Zucker. That will cause FAU to even that out. Boy, that was sort of a harm's way penalty. I mean, the point is FAU really had the worst look possible. 5-on-3. You've got Bogdanov and Chamber bearing down on them. And if it wasn't for McMillan being clutch at times, this could easily be a 4-1 game and sort of in control for FSU. So that allows now Andrew Yagoda to talk to his players a little bit more about the aggressiveness of this forecheck, and 2:29 to go. They've had some looks on 5-on-5 looks. They controlled basically the second half of the second period with a number of looks for guys like Justin Gerlich. I said his number. It's not Gerlich, but Gerlich. Aiden Georgiano, number 77. Anthony Campagna, the only goal of this game. Peter Petito has been flying around, number 61. Surprised we haven't seen him on the board yet, but he is out there now. They're going to get Moriarty with Campagna. And the last player they've got to settle out. It's right now 4 FSU forwards against 3 FAU defenders, and I don't think they realize yet that they need a fourth man. Now they do, because it's Renzi coming out on the ice. So there you go. Drew Renzi gets the look of Frederick, Maryland. Florida State's really saying right here they want to switch personnel and kind of figure out what they're going to do here. But now you've got, wait, they just erased off the board. Did they erase this penalty? You've got 5-on-4 after they just called boarding. I don't think they have this right. They just called a roughing on Eddie Zucker. All right, well, off the board, Zucker called for the rough. They just canceled it. So it's 5-on-4 still for Florida State. I apologize if I'm mishandling this, but this looks like it should have been 4-on-4. Nonetheless, Florida State still has the opportunity here with FAU shorthanded. But with that long pause, you now get FAU a chance to rest a little bit. So here comes the play. Through center ice. McGovern over the line, barely stays onside. Stops on a dime, defended well by Carozzo. And now it's Campagna in there with Petito. Point blank shot, easy glove save for McMillan, who sees it the whole way. And you see them trying to make sure that they get McMillan clean looks, because the first goal for Bogdanov was really two bodies in front of McMillan on the right side. He never had a clean look at the puck, so you could see them kind of saying, hey, clear the waves a little bit. Not that you don't want to block shots, just you don't want to give an advantage with a screen. Crucial face-off won by FAU, up and out. They've got numbers, a 2-on-1 coming. Renzi with Petito on the left side, flips it to Petito, in front of the net, Silliman way out, and he made the stop. A patient Silliman with Petito bearing down. I don't think Petito really got a great wrist shot off. He sort of knuckleballed this, as Silliman expected that fastball through the glove, got down in the butterfly and made the stop. A huge shorthanded opportunity for FAU goes blank with 1:33 to go in the period. 33 seconds still on the minor penalty to Christian Cuccia for interference. FSU is 1 for 4 on this power play. The only one tonight was from Ryan Chambry, their captain. They'll try and stretch it through the middle. It's Bogdanov. Caught up to by his partner defenseman, Barno. Bogdanov. I say partner because he's really been playing this blue line a lot. Bogdanov shot on net. Nearly catches McMillan. Second, third whack at it. And Watson will give some room. And Renzi, we got a shoving match going on in front. Herman did not like the second attempt by Braxton Lucero on the near side, where McMillan, you saw on your screen, had this puck up in his chest protector, down on the ice, and two Florida State Seminoles bearing down on him. It goes blank. 4 seconds left in the minor penalty. And a crucial face-off, because if you're FAU right now, you're saying, we got to get Bogdanov out of the way. He has been red hot. A goal scorer's goal scorer, if you might call it that. 9 goals on the season, team leading. Perhaps the biggest player on the ice for both sides, 6'2", 170. And him and Ryan Chambry have been lethal. This top group trying to get their personnel set up. Pecora is going to come off the ice. And for FAU, they've got Scott Herman going off the ice. I'm not sure for what. This might be a disqualification. Scott Herman does not look happy. He's going to the locker room. I was looking at the face-off circle dots, waiting to see what personnel both teams were going to have, and there was a conversation to the left of the FAU bench. So Scott Herman could potentially be out of this game now. I'm not sure. I didn't see an official ruling from the head official. We've had a couple of pauses that have made this a long second period. 3-1 from Boca Ice Center here in Boca Raton. Devin Serra with you for the hockey. I almost said Hockey House. Shout out to our friends at the Hockey House. College Hockey South Game of the Week, where two teams at the top of the College Hockey South ranks are trying to vie their spot for nationals. Here's a chance to the middle, and That was Chambray looking for his second. Missed the net. Bogdanov stick handles through two defenders. Jensen gets it up to the point for Barno. Bogdanov again. Off the backside of Jensen, allows the break. He was looking for Chambray. But it's Georgiano with a look. He's got Cuccia up his opposite wing. He'll backhand it through the middle. Chambray thought about stretching the play for Bremer. The FSU fans to my right wanted that, but look out. Open lane for Chambray. He'll drop it off to the middle. Shot on net. Never got through. Blocked down by Lucer. Right, that's Cuccia, and Cuccia's hurt. He is down for a long time. He caught a puck right on the knee area. All right, that's a tough block in front to take, sacrificing it for his team. And that's an alternate captain that's been putting up huge numbers for this FAU team with 21 assists. The freshman of Flemington, New Jersey, is going to have to come off for quite a bit. And it's one tough customer. 14.9 is on the clock, and it was a disqualification, a 5-minute major. Scott Herman is out of this game, and that means FSU, when this period ends, regardless if they score or not, is going to have all you can eat. Golden Corral style. That shot from FAU, shorthanded. Trying to make something of the end of this period. Sharp angle chance, never got to Silliman. Caught up on the tight angle. 1 second left, the stretch out, and that's going to do it. So Florida State, after conceding within the first 15 seconds from Campagna, 2 goals from their leading goal getter, and Daniel Bogdanov puts them at a 3-1 advantage in game 1 of this weekend series. We'll see what FAU is made of when we come back. 3-1 after 40 minutes. You're watching the College Hockey South Game of the Week here on Owl TV. We're back for third period of the College Hockey South Game of the Week. Florida State leading the host FAU 3-1 after 2. Daniel Bogdanov goals at the start of the period, right after Captain Anthony Campagna put FAU on the board, and he has been all over. Nearly scored another 2 on the power play preceding this event, and the big story at the end of this period was the 5-minute major and disqualification on Scott Herman for FAU, which puts FSU not only on their 6th power play of the night where they're 1 for 5, but it's all you can eat with 3:57. So no matter what happens, FSU scores, whether they don't, this is going to stay on the board. Granted, they don't take a minor themselves, but nothing can evade this penalty, which means they really just want to put everything they've got into the next 3.5 minutes and try and put this game a little bit more in control. So at center, Van Ray to dig in against Caraballo. And here we go. Final 20 from Boca Raton. Chambray out of his own end. The captain rims the boards. There's Bogdanov. 2 goals in this game. The product of the Oakland Junior Golden Grizzlies. 186 AAA games under his belt, and it certainly shows. And a poke along right here by the streaking Van Ray. He's got an assist on the first goal from Ryan Chambray in this game. Sent the length of the ice all the way back to the netminder, Matthew Silliman, who's played one heck of a game, has stopped unofficially 15 of 16 so far. And FAU really had their flurry of activity in the second half of that period when they kept FSU in their own zone for nearly 4 minutes. They couldn't get anything of it. That's been the story of this one. FSU's odd man rushes and their physical play. So here's Chambray, the captain, out of center ice. Forwards at Bogdanov. He's got a lane to take if he wants. Drops it for Van Ray. Gets around one defender. Stops on a dime. Waits to the point where Chambray's got it. Van Ray, one touch to Barno. Back over to Bogdanov. Through the middle. Barno in front with it. Backdoor. First time stopped. It's up for grabs in the crease. No one can put it home. The second shot is blocked, and now they score. Score, FSU. The flurry in front is put home by Van Ray. And still with 2:34, FSU is in control of this contest. He had the assist on the first goal of this game at 7:56 from Chambray, and this one at 1:23. Puts his team at an advantage. His second goal of this young season still. Florida State, for that disqualification on Scott Herman at the end of the second, stays on this man advantage. 2:20 to go in that. And Zucker flips it out of the air. And now this is unofficially the biggest deficit besides the only loss for FAU this year when they lost 9-2 to Division II Tampa. Their biggest deficit so far, trying to answer. That's Petito in the slot, and he was well defended by McGovern. Forward and long for Zucker. He's got help coming down the middle. Tries a sidestep. Great poke check made by Christian Cuccia. Set the length of the ice. A Clapper stepping into it way over the net. A frustrated Drew Renzi slams his stick against the glass. Boy, if you step into that and miss by about 20 feet, you're going to be frustrated too. Renzi goes off to change, and now really that's probably an omen for FAU. Really, it's just not put a ton of quality chances on goaltender Matthew Silliman of Ridgefield, Connecticut. And now if you're playing damage control, really, you've got 1:46 left. It's going to put them roughly 15 minutes left in this game to try and answer with 3 goals. But they win the faceoff. That one blockered away by Silliman. Chambray had his pocket picked. Another near side chance through the middle. Gorelick tried to catch up, and it's taken away by Bogdanov. Rush up the right side. Cuts to the middle. 1-on-3. He's got help now with his power play group. Barno, the top group, back out there with Van Ray. Bogdanov switches field. Van Ray goes to the middle in the bumper spot. Bogdanov waits for the lane. Put it in the middle. There's a one-timer. Missed it high. Van Ray looking for his second in just about a minute. Now Barno holds the line. Open lane. Bogdanov winds up off the backside. Jake Buccigross is down after blocking that one. And Barno with Chambray. It's near a 5-on-3 right now because Buccigross is still down. Van Ray through the middle. Couldn't find Chambray. 53 to go in the power play. Bogdanov finds it under his legs. And too far away from the defenseman Barno, all the way back out. And FAU just survived. Jake Buccigross gets to the bench, but the damage is done. 35 to go in the power play still. And they've lost the defenseman at that. McGovern has behind the net, skating with it. 2-on-1, FAU wins that battle over. Pecora is the first one to it. He's got Georgiano all alone. Break in front. Walsh, the only defender, waits for it. Silliman glove stop at point blank range. Getting some love from his teammates for that. Matthew Silliman, one of the 7 seniors on this FSU group. 5-2-2 on the year. .904 save percentage. .356, but he has been good when it matters. Facing so far, unofficially, 17 shots. FAU, 5 seconds on the power play, but they're trying to put this one on. Another save off the chest of Silliman. It's a battle by 9 and 10. Pecora and Walsh. Coming on the net for FAU is Andonovsky. Now a race for it with Zucker. Left wing. Skates wide with it. Taken away by Carabola, who made a good play defensively behind his own net. Here's Brady Walsh, the Florida Gulf Coast ACHA transfer from 2 years ago. Skies it into the netting. Up and out of play. And folks, make sure to set your calendar for this upcoming slate of FAU hockey as this inaugural season continues on as they take on Florida State tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Eastern right here on Boca Ice. Catch us for the 4:45 warm-up, 5 p.m. puck drop, unofficially slated. And nothing gets easier for FAU as they will have an even slate. Games every weekend just about until we get to tournament time. We'll take on Lenny University next week as well for a 2-game slate. And most of their games are from home ice the rest of the way. Silliman, easy stop there on the captain, Campagne, as the only goal for FAU. And talking to him yesterday, he talked a lot about how he didn't expect necessarily this to be FAU's best game of the year, coming off that well over 2-month break since before Thanksgiving. But he talked about this is the next step for this team, making sure guys are in shape. Staying with it as another point shot is saved by Silliman. A lot of what he talked about was his experience with Division II and how they could, with that FAU team, make these national runs year after year and sort of develop a program. And that's sort of been his role with head coach Andrew Yagoda. And for him and Kevin Hoy and Yagoda's group, this is probably the toughest outing they've seen so far this year, all things considered, when they were down 2 by USF early in the first of game number 2 this year. This has been it. There's a chance at the answer. Scored, Renzi. They're screaming hoot hoot down there for Drew Renzi, who puts FAU within 2. A much needed goal. We talked about the end of that 5-minute major penalty, needing something quick to get back in this game and sort of take away all the momentum from FAU. And it's the sophomore of Frederick, Maryland, his 8th goal of this season, to give FAU some life, some juice. That goal coming at 4:56 of the third period. And they want to put this face-off back out to center. So that one's massive. You got the sense that if FAU didn't score there for a while, it was going to be FSU's game to lose. 2 goals looks a heck of a lot better than 3, but still Florida State, you think about guys like Chambray and Bogdanov who are out there on the ice that have been doing it for them all night. So FAU with some life. Let's see what more they do with it. Silliman on a center ice chance. Now a clap bomb from a sharp angle. Misses well wide. So they've got, looks like the third line or so out here for FAU. And one of the things that their coach talked about is this one will stay in play. And Andrew Yagoda was that they're trying to get to a point where they can get all 4 lines on the ice instead of just 3.5. Here's Carozzo, winds up again off the backside, blocked in front by a Florida State defender. Katz picks it up. Bremer at center. Leaves it there for Lentz. Turned it right over. FAU coming off the bench is Lopes. He's got 1-on-2, but a lane to shoot. Silliman out of the net. And a nice chest protector stop. And pushing and shoving Lopes. That's Cooper Barno in there telling him to get away. Well, Barno is a talker, but a strong one at that. Backs it up with his play. The junior out of Tampa, Florida, of Freedom High School. He's been all over the ice managing and sort of quarterbacking this power play unit. As look out, near shot off by Rothmeyer. That one knuckleballed and went off the left pad of Silliman. That was like a bullet. That puck had no business getting there that quick. And that's just kind of the product of Silliman being savvy. That's a goal. That's a one that you would expect FAU to really just jump on. Quick with it. 13:44 to go in this game. But for a young, talented group like this FAU squad, they have not really been the aggressor team, sort of say. They've been playing most of this contest in their own end. And they have caused a lot of penalties, and they've only had 1 power play opportunity this entire contest. Shot from the blue line, easily seen off of Buccigross's stick. And what that does for a group, really, with you think about FSU with now in this game, unofficially 2 power play goals, 2 for 6 with that 5-minute major. How they've controlled the pace of play, how they've taken sort of the wind out of the sails of the top units for FAU. And at this point in the game now, all of a sudden you've got to look. Puck squirts in on Silliman, and once again we get a quick face-off. 3 face-offs in the last 15 seconds now in this end, and this doesn't really bode well for an FSU squad that's now lost 3 straight face-off opportunities. Petito is the man for the Owls. Georgiano can't find it. A rush the other way for Seminoles. Spinorama skating wide around Eddie Zucker. Try to get it back up to Barno, and it was through the middle. He was out of position. Silliman, a race for it, 1-on-1. FAU wants a call. They're not going to get one. Petito arguing he's got taken down to the ice. Now Buccigross gets bumped off the puck. That allows an open lane for Alexander Jetson. He's got an open lane, 2-on-1 in front, and calm, cool, collected as ever. FAU's defensive man in front calmly puts that on his stick. That was a dangerous 2-on-1. What a play by Sam Watson for FAU to keep that from being a 5-2 advantage. I don't know if McMillan would have had a good look to slide from left to right. SU won the icing. Georgiano beat it out. Look out, boarding call on Georgiano. He just decked into the boards face first. The FSU forward, and that is a costly 7th penalty on FAU tonight. And not to mention, that's the 3rd time we've seen Georgiano go to the box in this game. FSU has 2 power play goals. The first one of this game was from Ryan Chambray. The other, most recently for FSU, is Jay Van Ray. 2 points tonight, goal and assist. 12-17, this is going to be tough, and they just threw out another guy. Another FAU player is thrown out. Georgiano is gone. He was talking to the head official in the officials' crease that shares the penalty box side with the benches. You can't really see it below us. That's why, but whatever Georgiano said, the official didn't like it, and he's gone. So let's see what they put on the board now. If this is a 5-minute, not only is it 5 minutes, basically half the period left of time taken off, but then you get a 5-on-3. And that really causes problems for FAU. I count 4 skaters right now. So it stays 5-on-4. So they give Georgiano the game. They don't give it a 5-minute. It's pretty standard. So here we go. And FAU is down 2 players. And the Seminoles trying to reclaim control. Fanning on the one-timer there was Van Ray. Short side attempt. McMillan's there. And he'll calmly put it in his padded area. And that was bearing down on him. Alexander Jensen. Haven't called his name too much tonight, but the Victoria, Minnesota native is the team leader in goals, points. He's played with 3 separate Minnesota hockey programs, with the Lakers, with Cheska and Chanhassen Bantam, and then United AAA. And you look at stats like that, and a guy that usually stands out on the score sheet had kind of a quiet night. Looking to change that. FAU gets out of harm's way for now. And skating up with it all alone. Missed the net wide. That was Connor Strum. Stretch pass off the bench. Van Ray. And we had a whistle. Oh, man, that was nearly caught up to. They get him on the offside. Just barely offside, and now we've got a call coming up. It's a cross-check on Florida State. I thought it was offside for a moment as the headman catching up was Van Ray, but we've got a 4-on-4 now. Another penalty on Florida State. Only their, from what I can count, 3rd of the night. They had coincidentals earlier that discounted FAU's power play. Both goals of an even strength. It's 4-on-4 open ice. The Owls need it. The drop pass for Watson. He'll skate wide of it. Back up to Campagna. The captain has the first one tonight for the Owls. Plays it off the glass. Wood is there. Wants to stretch it out. 2 defenders close the gap quick. There's center ice. Now pinching off the puck, Petito on Stitt. And to reclaim it, up for grabs still. Petito trying to forward it. Look out, FSU in! Save McMillan! Still loose on the left side, and now he gets back behind himself. Eddie Zucker nearly with a short-handed goal. What would have really put this out of reach, and a delayed penalty on FAU is going to kill their chances of a power play. Still an opportunity, and that one Bagdanov put through the slot. McMillan might have caught the paddle with it, and it's touched up by Petito. And a penalty, a cross-check, the 3rd cross-check in 5 minutes, and that one's costly. As FSU was 3 seconds away from being shorthanded for only the 2nd time tonight. And that kills any opportunity that FAU had. Still a lot of time left, 10:19 to go. And the cross-check called on Drew Renzi, who had the most recent goal. Make that 8 penalties tonight for the Owls. Tells the story of this one a little bit more. So now you've got 3 seconds left until Georgiano gets out of the box. That'll give us 5-on-5 or 4-on-4 for 55 seconds. So here's Stitt and FSU with some open ice. Watson winds up, score! the Seminoles put this back to a manageable one. It's James McGovern. And their third power play goal of the night of Naples, Florida. Scores his fourth of the season. And a backbreaker after FAU looked like they were going to have an opportunity to make this a one-score game with how lethal they can put up points in a hurry. And still, we mentioned it in the pregame broadcast, how really FAU hasn't seen a lot of tough adversity being down in a game like this in a long time. You look at their schedule during the months of October and November, they only lost the Tampa Division II, 9-2, after they upset them 5-4 in overtime in a game that McMillan absolutely stood on his head. You get these blowout wins over North Florida, Florida Tech, and of course the opening series against USF way earlier in September. But since those games, and really since October, they haven't been down in a game like this. And credit to Florida State, who's been in a lot of tight matchups this year, and not really a story we got to at all, but I mean, you look at their schedule pre-break, you get those blowouts against North Florida, 11-5 and 7-3, but then they play Miami in a 3-2 close victory in game one. They lose 7-2 in the second one, but you got to wonder X, Y, and Z factors in that. The games that stand out are Georgia Tech, that tie back in September, and then tying Miami on the 8th of November. And close wins against Florida, which is not an easy team to play at Division II or D3. So Florida State kind of built for this, and boy, if they can hold on for the next 10-10 in this game, what a massive win it would do for the Nationals' chances on the outside looking in, currently 5th in College Hockey South. You have to be top 12 to make Nationals or win the tournament to get in. And it will be at what is their home rink in Jacksonville at the Igloo. Kind of an odd spot, but this team out of Tallahassee travels 2.5 hours every home game to practice, play games. And head coach Ryan Smith was pretty motivated about telling me how hard these guys work and how much of a bond not just this program has with their alumni, but how much they can really use that as a motivating factor, how far they travel and they can still put up competitive numbers like they are tonight. Shot from the right circle, easily seen by McMillan for the stop. And if FAU is not able to come back in this game, you look at tomorrow's slate. Game 2 is usually a very different story, and dare I say, the team that loses typically has a better start and a better opportunity in that first to kind of get the jump on a team. And really the story of this one we talked about was how FSU was able to score first and use that to their advantage the entire game. And it's led to this result so far. But here's Barno. And this is a power play for FSU still. Shot from the left circle, saved by McMillan. Barno keeps it in. Wraps the boards for Van Ray. He'll leave it off for Bogdanov, who's got 2 tonight. Bogdanov put it well wide. Wanted to find Van Ray down there. Barno from his knees gets it to Bogdanov. Knuckleballs McMillan. He's out of his crease. Dives away. Defended well by Watson in behind. Van Ray still with it now. Bogdanov, 24 to go in the power play. Barno waits with it. Puts a clapper on. This one once, twice, 3 times. Score! Alexander Jensen. There it is for him. Stuck with it. McMillan didn't have a lot of help down there. And that's the 4th power play goal for Florida State tonight. And they might have just put it out of misery. 6-2. Jensen's team leading 12th of the season. The Victoria, Minnesota freshman steps up big in a moment where FAU, you can tell, a little bit deflated about causing those penalties. 8 tonight. And FSU has capitalized on, well, half of them. And there goes McMillan to the bench to get, looks like an equipment change. I think his stick, something might have been wrong with it for a moment. He gets it back now. 6-2 with 8:34 to go. And what a dominant performance right now in this third period from Florida State, who gave up the first goal in this period from a great shot by Drew Renzi, just crashing hard to the net. The answer, they put this one within one, or two rather, but too little too late as James McGovern and Alexander Jensen combine. Look out, big collision on the far side. Two players go sliding. That's Blake Kakish caught up with, looks like Drew Renzi. Gets to his feet. He's not happy about losing his footing in that one. Now Rothmich. Skied out of the air, glove down at center. Shot from the red line from Moriarty easily seen. A fight ensues on that far corner. Campagna stepped up into his man and fights it off. Florida State now with numbers. 3-on-2 could develop, but they're going to go off for some more changes. Walsh comes on the ice now. The lone man in with it. Charlie Lack is taken to the ice. Up left wing. Renzi waits for help coming. Campagna, the captain, tries to move through three defenders and didn't work. Soft shot on McMillan. He'll stop it and fall on that with 6:57 to go. In this contest, this one may be all but a finale, but reminder, join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Time as Florida State and FAU conclude this weekend series. And an important game for really both sides. FSU with 2 wins would do numbers against the number 8 team in the nation. As look at another one in tight. McMillan couldn't swallow. He gets help from his defenseman in Carabalo, who comes back to turn it away. Off the boards. McGovern keeps it in. And goals from 4 different Seminoles tonight. You got to wonder, this hurts for sure with a loss FAU more than it would FSU. But every game will be important for both sides as we get into the second semester. Both teams they're trying to make a push for Jacksonville. Forward roofed that one over the head of McMillan. At the point, Stitt wants to funnel it lower. Backhanded out of harm's way by Carabalo. Immediately turned over. Here's a chance in the middle. Carabalo defended it well. It's underneath the legs, and it's in the net. McMillan sprawled out his legs. The puck sat on him for an eternity, and his own man knocked it in. Friendly fire against FAU, and they'll give this one to Tyler Richards, 7-2. FSU has all but put a button on it. So goals from 5 different Florida State forwards. And FAU, some friendly fire. It's going to sort of tell the story of their game. It's pretty obvious what they could have done better, but a lot to work on for Andrew Yagoda and this squad, who still have a lot of aspirations and a talented squad with them. First game back from second semester, FSU needed to have a good start in this game, and they did. Over the line, toe dragging with it is Ethan Katz. Skied over the slot. Caught up to by Jensen. Has help coming with Bogdanov. Lost the puck. Tapped along where Lopes finishes his check on Katz. He'll go off to the bench. Carozzo waits with it now. Moriarty puts one on Silman. Gets run into by his own man, and some pushing, some shoving, some talking too. That's Lopes in there skating around that entire unit of Seminoles, who have, by the way, one of the cleanest tarps I have ever seen. With the Seminole on horseback And I'm not going to describe more colors because I don't want to get in trouble with Seminole fans, but boy, they are clean. We'll see what they come out with tomorrow. And Florida Atlantic, I gotta say, they have one of the cleanest tree jerseys, I guess I'll call it, with that pink, salmon pink and navy blue look. I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, they nearly won the Hockey House Jersey of the Year contest a couple of years ago with this tarp. Sweater, whatever you'll call it. Here's a chance. Another one winds up over the net. And looking for his second of the game was Alexander Jensen. FAU out of their own end. And we've got a penalty. They're going to get a Florida State defenseman and Blake Kakish on this one. Let's wait on the signal. And Kakish says 5 minutes on the board. They're giving Blake Kakish a 5-minute major at the moment. For what? I'm not sure. These officials have been quick to send guys off. Already 2 men disqualified in this game. And Scott Herman and Aiden Georgiano. Just a wild turn of events. You never see typically 2 guys get disqualified in the same game, especially how early it happened with Georgiano going off in the second period and then Scott Herman getting sent about halfway through this third. But you've got 5 minutes on the board. And crazier things have happened, so if FAU scores, they've got all you can eat. 4:32 to go. Renzi wins the draw. Petito's there underneath his legs and it's fished out of there and kicked along by Eddie Zucker. Zucker trying not to let any craziness happen, but dare I say crazier things have happened. This Florida State team has controlled pace all game long, especially in that first period where it looked like FAU was a little bit behind the play, giving up odd man rushes. Their goaltender, McMillan, has stood tall despite giving up 7 in this game. That's part of the reason why Andrew Yagoda has kept him in it. 3:50 to go now on the clock. 7-2 Florida State. Looking at a steal here for Van Ray, looking for his second. Scores! From backhand to forehand, Bobby Orr style, dives over the right pad of McMillan. 5th power play goal, 8-2. Short-handed. That would be the first one of this game. And just an onslaught today. Florida State stretching their legs a little bit. Second one of the goal game for Jay Van Ray. 3rd of this season. And it was a beauty. And I've mentioned crazier things. That might just be on the highlight reels on Instagram later this week. 5 minutes was the penalty on Blake Kakish, but FAU really hasn't gotten even a shot off in the time that they've had for this. Stayed on side, Buccigross. He'll turn it for the middle. Silliman in a nice stop after getting crashed into by Lopez. Turning on the checks. Braxton Lucer. FAU coughed it up in the middle. 3 minutes to go, and reminder, 5 p.m. puck drop tomorrow night. You can catch us on Owl TV. Our producer, Mitch, has been running the sticks, 1s and 2s, doing a great job. First goal of it this semester for all of us. As here's Lopez trying to finish it on the front. In the crease, Silliman stands tall, and the Florida State crowd to our right is going to like that. Put up some cheers. And now pulling the goalie will be Andrew Yagoda because of the minor penalty coming up here if Florida State touches it. Regardless of whether FAU had their looks or not, giving up 5 power play goals in one game is not going to do you any good when you're trying to not only beat a team in your first game in 2 months, let alone one of the better teams in college hockey south. And this, dare I say, could be a statement for Florida State when you got a very strong conference slate coming up for them. Not as many games this second semester for this Seminole squad and Ryan Smith, but you look at taking on FAU to finish up tomorrow, Embry-Riddle, which are very winnable games, and then St. Leo University, South Florida from there on, and then get ready for tournament time. This is a very favorable look, and I think regardless of what happens tomorrow, FSU is going to benefit from this win here today. So 2 minutes to go in the game. It is now 5-on-3 FAU after the minor penalty. On Silliman. And yes, the goaltender Silliman. So Renzi in deep with it behind the net. Looks for a lane to Watson. Gets it now. Has got a man in the middle. And it's Campagne looking for a second. And a dandy. Silliman going from left to right makes the stop. Campagne, even though his team did not play their most disciplined game, he can hang his head high scoring a goal in this one. They had answers at both the first and second quickly. Campagne had the opening goal in the second period, and then in this third, they quickly got one from Drew Renzi, and for a moment there, FAU had some life. They had some juice. And some key takeaways for them will be, well, we can strike in a hurry, but they've got to be more disciplined tomorrow. Florida State, you're looking at this game going, let's do everything we did and more tomorrow. So Renzi with 1:10 to go. Plays it behind. Silliman hugs that left post. Defended well. Up to the point for Watson. He'll look for Campagne. Campagne back to Watson. Winds up and he hit the back of the goal. One more with it. 52 to go in the game. Pecora tries to slide it through. Silliman on Petito in tight. Look for Petito in the air. Sharp angle. Stepped aside. Stitt now. Can't clear it. Here's Campagne. Try to get it to Watson. Deflected to the middle by Zucker. Campagne gets it back. Lost that under his feet. 25 to go in the game. Petito. Carozzo now. One-timer. Fanned on it. And Watson. FSU chirping him on the bench. Renzi. Sharp angle. Put it off the left post. 10 to go in the game. He'll get it back once more. In the slot. Shot saved by Silliman. Wide. Carozzo. Paddle. 2 seconds. And that's it. Florida State makes a statement in the College Hockey South Game of the Week. A dominant performance. 5 power play goals. Off the back of 2 goals for Jay Van Ray. Daniel Bogdanov. And 4 other Seminoles leads them to a dominating performance. 8-2 the final. The only goal scorers for FAU in this one, their captain and Anthony Campagna and Drew Renzi. And not to mention now with 2 disqualifications in there to Georgiano and Herman, they're going to have some things to look at. Going into a 5 p.m. puck drop tomorrow, but this day belongs to the Seminoles. And Ryan Smith. As the handshake lines ensue, that'll just about do it for us in this one. A great job by our entire camera crew tonight, and Francis and Lucas. Mitch running the 1s and 2s. That'll get us out of here. So FSU, game number 1 goes to them. We'll be with you for a 5 p.m. puck drop tomorrow as this weekend season semester opener concludes between FAU and Florida State. So for our entire production team here at Owl TV, My name is Devin Serra. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful night.